Okay, so here are the tools that you need to do your elastic. You need elastic. Your elastic needs to be cut at 4 inches to 4.5 inches because that's what it's manufactured as on a new cloth diaper. You need a ballpoint bodkin. You need scissors, 2 large safety pins, and a small safety pin. I would get a few actually. And you need your cloth diaper. So I already did one side. I'm going to show you guys how to do the other side now, okay? Now that I've told you what you need. And you also need a sewing machine or stitching. I prefer to do the sewing machine because the stitching was way too hard for me. And I kept dropping it and losing it, missing the piece. But if you guys are good at stitching, which I thought I was, you can use that. If not, you can use one of these guys. My grandmother got this super cheap at a yard sale. And I did not know anything about sewing until I touched this. So you could be a beginner and still do this, okay? Okay, so when you go to the inside of the cloth diaper, it's gonna look like this. One side is completely done at 4 inches. This side is shot and is very long. And so what you're gonna do is you're going to use a sewing stitch removal to go ahead and unstitch these little guys. And I already did this side so you can see what it looks like. This is what the other side looks like not done. Right there. And then you would unstitch right over here. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna undo this elastic with the stitch, and then I'm gonna place a new elastic on, okay? So here's the elastic, here's the stitch. You can either try to get the elastic off by coming up here, but this diaper, I already know I can't do that. It's a really tough diaper, and the way they stitched it was pretty good for it not to come off, so I'm just gonna cut it right there, and then when I place my new elastic, it's gonna go there. Now you have 2 options of how you want to do this. I'm going to show you how I enjoy doing it, and I'll tell you how other people do it, but I'm not going to show you because it sucks. Some people take their new elastic and they stitch it on here, and then they stitch their elastic on here. So if you don't have a sewing machine, this is going to work. So you stitch your new piece here, you stitch your old piece on here, and then you come over here to this end, undo this one, and just pull it through. I can't stitch properly, so that's not going to work for me. So I just let that go, and I go ahead and I stitch my new one here. Okay, you can turn it off. What I do is I put my safety pin on here, and it's just holding the elastic so that when I go to put it on the sewing machine, it stays, and then I don't let it go and lose it. And then I'm gonna put it on the sewing machine and sew my piece. And then once I'm done sewing my piece, I'm gonna show you what I do with the ballpoint. Here you go. Can you hold that for me? So just putting it in, making sure I don't have the PUL under. Everything's nice. You want to make sure your safety pin doesn't get in the way. This is easy, come on, man. Got video camera fright. And snap down, perfect. Bring down the needle. Bring up the needle, bring this up, pull out, take your scissors, give it a nice clip, take the safety pin off. Show you what I'm working with. I have stitched my new one here. Okay, nice and good. So now, what I'm doing next is I'm taking my ballpoint bodkin. I'm putting my elastic through. I'm taking my safety pin. I try to use the smaller safety pins because that's what will go through that little space that you have. Ta-da! Now the space that I was talking about is right in here, and I just kind of straighten this so it's the same as the ballpoint bodkin, and we both take a little trip down this little hole, push through, and there goes my bodkin with my elastic. And you want to push from the opposite end up. And then here is my lovely safety pin. Undo the safety pin. I still have the elastic in one hand. Undo it, pull my bodkin out. Here's my elastic. On my break. Give me a second. Okay, so I have my elastic, my old elastic piece, which I'm just gonna cut off. Normally I would try to get it off with the sewing thing, but this one is tough. It was put on there very nicely. And then I proceed with the same steps that I did earlier, which is go ahead and put a safety pin here, sew it, and then we're done. So I'm gonna go ahead and close the video. Here's the aftermath of that last one that I did. It's completely done. So now I'm gonna flip it over so you can see what it looks like. Aftermath of my cloth diaper, and it's completely done. And boom shakalaka.